would you like to tell us what brings you out to today's protest?
Sure. So this protest specifically is for immigration rights. We believe that everyone deserves the due process of law, and that a lot of these people that are being locked up are not criminals, and that simply entering the country illegally does not make one a criminal, and that everybody deserves the right to, due process of law, pretty much.
We're hearing a lot of different definitions of what due process is. Can you tell me about what your definition of due process is and how you feel it's not being followed?
Just like not guilty or, innocent until found guilty, going to court and evidence and, actual conviction. And if they are convicted for an actual violent crime, then, they don't deserve to be in like inhumane conditions. But, obviously we deal with people of violent crime the way we do even in our own country. So, but I do believe that people that are not responsible for violent crimes should not be treated as violently as they are being treated, where there are women and children being approached, and not just, men and all this stuff. These kids are not creating. The children are not part of the crime issue, you know what I'm saying? And these people are able to enter schools and churches now, which even the Nazis didn't even do that, you know what I'm saying?
Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey! Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey!
Sit your down, yes. You guys want to talk to me?
Let's go this way, Dad. We appreciate you telling us your perspective.
Yeah, you better behave yourselves before I get security on you. Make sure.
The channel is Polish American Brotherhood, and we're on live, so it's not being edited.
Okay. Yeah, just make sure that if you guys are going to talk to people, you get their consent first. Don't be all up in their faces.
Yeah.
Trying to make them fight you,
We're not like that.
I trust you guys. Yeah, okay. So,
can you tell me about your opinion on Kilmore Garcia and how that was handled?
What's that?
Kilmore Garcia and how that situation was handled. He's the Maryland man who's from El Salvador that was sent to the El Salvador jail. It's like
I actually don't know too much about that because I don't watch the news. I rely on what other people tell me, honestly.
Actually, I prefer that.
That one,
too.
I don't know that one.
How do you feel about Trump's border security? He's reduced the amount of crossings on our border to close to nil. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think that's a bad thing because not that I want to exploit migrant workers at all, but that's who works most of our produce and our fields and all these things. And I believe that they deserve a fair living wage as well. So I think that is a bad thing for America overall because they make our country better.
Is it possible though to get a fair wage if they're undocumented?
That's what we're trying to fight for with the labor unions. I think it is possible. And I think that the bar to get in should be a little bit lowered and make it easier as well, so that they are protected.
I can hear you on that because the legal immigration process itself is also broken. It's such a long wait and everything, and that's something that also needs to be fixed.
Absolutely.
So
I also will say that a lot of these people are leaving countries that have all these issues, and a lot of those issues are caused by the Western powers that are in there. Listen, a lot of people may not agree, but even right-wingers know that our government is not our friend. Our government, our CIA has done all sorts of screwed up stuff. Our FBI has done all sorts of screwed up stuff. They smuggle in drugs into our country and disseminate it to the poor neighborhoods so they can target the poor people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, keep them on welfare so they're never able to
and they give people in other countries, the gangs, guns, so they terrorize their own people and make things bad so they can take the resources. And then when those people realize what the government is doing and wake up and become woke and want to fight for their people and kick those powers out of their country, then they use those weapons to fight the Western powers and kick them out of their country, they're labeled terrorists. You know what I'm saying? And they don't exist in a vacuum. American imperialism and Western hegemony in general encourages these things. And a lot of these people flee these countries. They're like, ooh, America. When America is usually the one creating the issues in their country in the first place and destabilizing them.
I can agree with you there because my boyfriend's from Haiti, so I'm very familiar with Haiti's background with imperialism and what's going on there. A lot of people have to flee from
I'm not about the left and the right. I'm about the 99% versus the 1%. And I think we need to break our two-party system and we need to start talking to each other. Instead of me seeing you in that red hat and thinking that you're racist or you hate me because I'm trans or a bad person. and you seeing me that I'm trans and thinking I'm a predator or whatever. We need to talk to each other and find a way to fix our country in a way that we can agree with and that doesn't hurt people, because everybody deserves basic human rights and basic human respect and basic human decency. And I think we can all agree on that no matter what side we're on, as long as you're not a Nazi, you know?
Yeah. My father's from Poland, so he escaped from communist Poland, came to America as a refugee.
Okay.
Can you tell us about like your background and what makes you so impassioned about immigration reform?
Well, let's see. I am Native American. My people are indigenous to Cuba. We are Taino. I'm also, Cuban, and I'm half white. And I'm also trans. I'm two-spirit. And I love people. Everywhere I go, I'm adopted into communities. I go hang out with rednecks, and they adopt me into their community. They might roast me a little. They might disagree with me on some things. But at the end of the day, they would have my back if someone came to come fight me. And at the end of the day, as long as people are like that, I feel like we can make something work. And so it's just, I believe one day I will die high off the people, as Fred Hampton said, because I believe in the people, and I am willing to give up my life for the people that I love. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day.
And that's beautiful.
But
Thank you.
do you think that the illegals who come in here and commit crime, the taxpayers should pay for the legal system for them? That's a lot of money. I work all my life very hard. I retired from United Airlines, and I cannot basically afford a lawyer. Should we pay for the lawyers for them when they come illegally here?
How much taxpayer money do you think is going into rounding them up comparatively to handling just the few small minority of violent criminals who need to be prosecuted versus rounding up over 4,000, maybe 5,000 people now in Chrome concentration camp that's only designed for 400 people? So they're, you're over capacity and inhumane conditions. And how much is that costing to put 4,000 people who aren't even violent criminals in this facility versus maybe the 10% that are actual violent criminals and putting them through the court system? I mean, and they pay taxes themselves when they're out here doing their migrant labor and their work. They pay into taxes, they buy things, and they give it back into our country too,
Yes, they do. But I believe, because I immigrated myself, my country when I was 20 years old, and 56 years I'm already here. Okay, and I'm looking at this, that America is so big that we can accommodate a lot of people, but they should come legally. Before they cross the border, they should register themselves and give the fingerprints, through the legal system, and they will be accepted or not.
Well, yeah, that's why I was saying the immigration system, to be able to immigrate and do migrant labor, the bar should be lower so they can be protected and get their labor rights. And so background checks maybe can happen so people do feel safer. I can agree with that, but the bar should be lowered, I think. It shouldn't be as complicated because we know they're coming in. We need them to do the labor. I don't know what the Trump administration is planning on doing. We have no one out there to pick produce. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. But at the end of the day, a lot of these people are Native American. I'm Native American. I might not have been, or my mom might not have been born in the U.S., but our people were coming up here into Florida trading with the Native Americans up here in Turtle Island. We belong to this land. This was ours before the Europeans came here. And just because they put a border now, our people are illegal in their own land where they have been for like tens of thousands of years, So it's our land.
Should be like America should create like camps or farms for them outside the border and speed up the process for coming here. That would be a very good idea, right?
Maybe, as long as it's all humane, because we got the camps right now and they're not very humane.
Right.
So, I mean...
Well, I went to the camp, refugee camp, so from outside.
Yeah, okay.
And I went to the process.
Yeah.
I love this country because America was always good for me. Okay. And I obey the system. I try not to do anything wrong. I have no criminal record. And I believe if I do something criminal, they should kick me out. Even I'm a citizen. Yeah.
How would you feel though? Because they're taking people who have green cards. They're taking people who are citizens for just speaking their mind. It's crazy.
With traffic violations.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's taking away our right to free speech. That's scary stuff. That's dictator level stuff. I mean, not to throw around a big strong word that some people might not agree with, but that's wrong. At the end of the day, that is wrong.
Yeah.
So
You're speaking specifically about like the students who are protesting on campuses.
yes.
Though some of them had turned violent, not all of them did, and then some are also being kicked out for writing articles against their university.
Yes, Khalil, the op-eds, I mean, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong at the end of the day. And I mean, how would you feel if you were rounded up, you didn't even commit a crime, and they took you and they threw you in a concentration camp just because you're an immigrant? And even if you were a U.S. citizen, they don't care at this point.
I would feel bad, believe me. And
Yeah.
I'm pro immigration,
Yeah.
that we should bring. America is so big and we need more people here, but go to the immigration system, give the fingerprints, who you are, show the documents.
Unfortunately, that's not what the Trump administration is saying. That it's all of them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you're a citizen. You got brown skin specifically, you're going to be targeted. And I care about people. I will stand up for their rights. And just because you're wearing a MAGA hat doesn't mean I won't stand up for your rights. If I saw cops violently arresting you, I don't care who you voted for. I'm going to stand up for you. I'm going to film it and make sure I get evidence for you. And I'm going to be on your side because we are the citizens and we need to look out for each other. It's the 99% versus the 1%. And I will stand up for you. Even if you don't stand up for my rights, I will always stand up for you and everybody around me. And I don't care if you stand up for my rights. And maybe if I stand up for your rights, you'll care about my rights too and stand up for them. Maybe. And I hope so.
Yeah. Well,
Appreciate it.
I think people, because I'm a Democrat, okay? I will fight for democracy in America, and I supporting Trump. Do you think this is wrong?
I think that has a lot of mixed messages because Trump does not support democracy. He's trampling all over it.
Well, I'm not saying that everything what Trump is doing is right, but I see a lot of, in my vision, that he's gonna bring America to higher level.
See, that's what he promises. Listen, I did an experiment, and I have real good critical thinking skills. I created a new account. I followed right-wing content creators. I watched Fox News InfoWars for a week straight. By the end of it, it all started to make sense, and I kind of believed it a little bit, some of these things, and I can see how people who are good people on the inside and want good things for their country believe they're doing something good for their country by voting for him, not realizing he's tricking us. He's tricking us. He's tricking. I hope that you come around and see the way he's hurting you and your people. And I hope you don't get hurt because he's hurting everybody. He's taking away Social Security from these elderly people who voted for him. He's taking away so many things. Prices are going up, tariffs, all these things. And eventually the people who voted for him are going to get screwed over too. But you know what? When they are hurt, I'm going to be there for them. I don't care. I'm going to be there for them when they eventually get hurt. And I hope that these people wake up before they get hurt at the end of the day.
Well, I believe that there is a lot of misleading information about the Social Security because I'm doing good on my Social Security.
I don't think Social Security is going to exist by my time. So.
And what I heard that he's gonna send me $6,000 from the money he received someplace from this.
Here,
so
I gotta
maybe
go,
it's like maybe
We
not.
appreciate your time
I
very
don't mean
much.
to cut you off, but I'm getting a...
Okay, thank you very much.